kickers.
Now.
For when you're feeling kind of bony.
Hey, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say about my skin?
All right, everybody, welcome to Lunch Therapy Interview Friday. Today we have Jane Cantillon on the show. She's an amazing singer. She has been in Hollywood for a long time. She's a mainstay in Hollywood. She's had many different iterations of her career. We're going to talk about her more as we get to the interview. I want to say on Saturday night, going to see Honey Buns at the Yard Theater, 9 o'clock. Anybody, I don't know if it's sold out or anything like that, but if you're looking for a really fun clown show, I've never seen it, but I can only imagine just by looking at it. Just seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So join us there. Tonight, also, we're going to see The Apprentice, the new movie about the origin story of Donald Trump, so that should be interesting with Jeremy Strong. Yeah, looking forward to that as well. Honey Buns. There's Mike Knox. I don't know, Mike, have you seen Honey Buns? Honey Buns is Dean Evans' character, and I'm just looking forward to that. Let's get into this show. It is called Lunch Therapy. We've got Jane in the green room with Boney. They're hanging out. Let's go. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 All right, I wanted to just point out last night there was a solar storm. I think it's still going on. These are some pictures from Big Bear. I saw it on KCAL News, KCAL. They have a compilation here of a lot of different beautiful sky art. God is doing art in the sky. Mike Knox says, I want to, and I think I want to go see Honey Buns, I think is what he's saying. Hopefully he will join us as well. That's the solar storm. I think it's happening tonight as well, for those of you who are watching live. This is a live show. You can chat in the chat room. Jane won't necessarily see it because I think she's on a phone, but I will read out your chat questions to her as they come on. I've got a question for you. This morning, as I'm going into my studio, I see this spider. And I don't know what kind of spider that is, but it's looking, he was on the bottom of the handle. Like I went to reach at the handle and I was like, whoa, there's a spider. And I was wondering, like, is this like a wolf spider? It's a better shot of it here. Let's take a look. I don't know if Jane is an entomologist, but look at that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. He comes, now this is the Halloween portion of the show, because what happens is he starts looking at me, and you can see his little eyes looking at me. And he's like, whoa, what is that big dude up there? What is that? And he turns his head, and then what happens next will amaze you. He takes another look at me, and he's like, I like that guy. I think I'm going to eat his face. And here it comes. Hungry like the wolf. Hungry like the wolf, yeah. Let's see. And wait for it. Wait for it. It's taking a while. And here it goes. Whoa! And he jumped right at me. It's super scary. Luckily, he didn't bite my face off. Anyway, there you go. Now we got to breathe. Whew. Glad I escaped alive from that. Jose Salas is here. Welcome, Jose. Okay, now's the portion of the show where we breathe. This is chakra vibrations here behind us. Hopefully Boney and Jane are going to breathe as well. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. This is from the YouTube channel Chakra Vibrations. That's Travis Schumacher. If you want to do this whole thing, which is like, I think it's an hour long or something like that, you can go to their YouTube channel. Not now, of course, because you're watching this show, but check that out. Good place to get your chakras aligned. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Greg Wordle, yeah, bold jumping spider. It's a jumping spider. I didn't know it was a jumping spider. It's like when I was a kid, I had two fish. One was a beautiful fish with all kinds of fins on it. And the other was a kind of I don't know, normal looking plain fish. And the one with all the fins started losing its fins. There were no fins. Then it was just, all the fins were gone. And we were like, we got to get this other fish out of here because it's killing this beautiful fish. And we took that fish, we put it in a lake. And then we found out the fish with the beautiful fins was a Chinese fighting fish. So it was probably instigating all the fighting, but just losing. This is what I'm thinking. It's a scary spider, yeah. Okay, one more. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Fish's name was Charlie. Taking a moment of silence for Charlie, who went out into the lake on his own. Probably pretty scary. Jenny Sykes says, Phidippidus aurochs is one of the most common and conspicuous of the jumping spiders, often called orchard spiders. They jump to catch prey or avoid predators. Which were you, Joel? Well, I was shooting him with my camera. So that's great. Thanks for that, Jenny Sykes. Doesn't the red indicate that it's very venomous? Was it red? I don't know. Had a color to it. Howard says, I covered my eyes when that spider jumped. Is it safe now? Yeah, we're in the safe zone now. That fish was embracing failure. Ooh, interesting. I like that. Embracing failure. Okay, here's a great tongue drum. It's a little tongue drum for you from Marcel Hutter, one of our favorite handpan players. Here he's playing a giant tongue drum. I wonder if Jane has ever played the handpan or the tongue drum. We're going to have to ask her that. I always say this at the beginning of the show. We're going to have to ask this person that, and then I almost never do. So maybe we'll start the interview with that. I don't know. It's coming up, though. Glad to see all you people here. This is beautiful. He's really good. Jane has played everything, says Ginny. That's great. And that was the end of the music. So let's get on to the Patreon. Thank you for the Patreons. Look at me. Oh, it's Halloween coming up. I'm so excited because it's the most exciting time of the year. I think these are the Patreons. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for being a Patreon. Please, people, go to patreon.com/Joel Marshall to say, hey, pledge like $5 or something like that to keep the show going. This is how art is done these days. This is how comedy is done. This is how you get the good media, the good media presentations. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all the Patreons for your patronage. I can't even say patron anymore. I always say Patreon. I'm branded. It's like Kleenex. Thank you, Mike Knox. Really appreciate Mike Knox. And I appreciate Jenny Sykes for reminding me about Jane Cantillon and how wonderful she is, and getting her on the show. My eye makeup's sexy. So I'm very grateful to Ginny and everybody out there, and of course Kamala. Let's go. Let's ride now. All right, so now we're in the Church of Chuckles. This is the Church of Chuckles. This is a place where we get in the right mindset to enjoy another incredible personality on this show. Jane Cantillon is, she's had a life, and she's still having an incredible life. She's a comedian, a singer, a songwriter, a producer, a director, an artist. She's from Cleveland. That's where my dad went to grad school, or undergrad there at the Cleveland Institute of the Arts. I hear that Cleveland is kind of a thriving community now. But she has been in Los Angeles for over 40 years. She has a daytime Emmy nomination for CBS Talk. So she's been working in commercial entertainment for shows like Entertainment Tonight, Tyra Banks' show, Blind Date, Dr. Phil. Bet she has some stories from Dr. Phil. She directed an award-winning documentary called The Other Side, A Queer History's Last Call. Interesting story there. We'll have to hear more about that. But it's about the brutal past of gay oppression in the bars of mid-century Los Angeles. You can check it out on Amazon Prime. She's also a singer. She has a band. It's a wonderful band. It's called Dickless Jane. I didn't name it, but it's really because her husband, Richard, passed away not very long ago, and they were Dick and Jane. So now she's Dickless Jane. She has a sense of humor, obviously, and has been through some very difficult stuff. She also helps people with Alzheimer's, and dementia patients at assisted living and memory care facilities using music, I believe. We'll have to hear. Yeah, music and art. Wow. Her late husband, Richard Ross, Cantillon, fronted this band. Yep. Got some music there from that. And she's currently working on her memoir called Kitch and Tell: How I Fucked Hollywood and Then Hollywood Fucked Me. We got a character coming on the show here. Can't wait for this. Let's get into it. Jane!
Joel!
So great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I have to do a shout out to Kamala, your fabulous, brilliant, beautiful, talented wife, and Ginny Sykes, and also our next president.
Oh, yeah. You got the Kamala shirt on.
Yay.
I
Rainbow
love it.
Colored. Yes.
I think Kamala Lopez is a write-in. You can write her in, too. You know, you don't have to just pick one Kamala. There's lots of Kamalas out there.
I know. Kamala and Kamala.
Thank you so much for acknowledging Kamala. Kamala's been working her ass off.
She's amazing.
She's got the Equal Rights Amendment ratified now, which nobody said that could be done. And lots of people are taking credit for it. But she kind of busted her ass. She's been just a relentless force getting the Equal Rights Amendment ratified. And now they got to publish it. For some reason, they haven't published it. It was blocked by Bill Barr and Trump. And then nobody's done anything about it since. So you'll see this week, the West Hollywood Library is going to be covered with pictures of people making the call to the White House saying, please publish the Equal Rights Amendment so women can have equal opportunity and be equally represented in the U.S. Constitution. So there you have it. Thanks for pointing that out.
Well, we know Kamala's going to win, and Kamala will help your wife, Kamala, make this happen. I'm sure of it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
The whole world is changing. I feel confident this is going to happen. And I'll just have to show you my...
Oh, yeah, let's see this. This
I bought at the 99-cent store. It's called a pop-up, but they used an emoji. This was the last thing I bought at the night. That's sad.
Which is sadly demised.
Yep. Yeah, but they used how funny that they used poo. And here we go. I decided arts and crafts. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Ready?
Let's see it. Oh yeah! All right.
Shithead.
Beautiful. I love that.
He is the worst. Okay.
Now, I've got a question for you from the audience.
Yes.
Equal Means Equal says, love that painting behind you, Jane. The question is, what is that? Is that you?
That is me in the 80s when I was a sex machine. That is Mary Warnoff. She was the star of Eating Raoul. Yeah. She was Miss Togar in Rock and Roll High School. Rock and Roll High School. Yes, she was a Warhol superstar. She's still alive.
Wow.
And she painted this. It's called The Three Faces of Jane: Happy, Sad, and on the Phone.
I love that. It's beautiful.
So,
it's beautiful.
And you know, I just want to remind everyone, you posted
there's some flaws
You
too.
posted a picture of me on the cover of the YouTube thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 years old.
And you look exactly the same.
I know, but I don't even wear, I want to give everyone my beauty secret. Men, women, not beauty, because if I wasn't wearing my lipstick, not even my phone recognized. Face recognition does not, I swear to God, Joel, it doesn't recognize unless I'm wearing, otherwise I'm a paper plate with a potato on it.
Oh, that's hilarious. I've had that too, where my phone is like, that's not you.
I've never done filler. Okay, this is called Hair Talk.
Oh, I like
Hair Talks. Hair Talks covers my worry cleavage. See?
Oh, I see. Cleavage. Yeah, look at that.
Worry cleavage.
Yeah, I need
the other trick is never wash your face. I haven't washed my face in years. The dirt fills it in, and then you just put some clown white.
Oh,
I swear, I do. Ask any of my friends. There's nothing I'm doing here. And the other thing is, you know what fat is, Joel?
What is fat?
Fat, it's God's little Botox.
It
so
really
if you get fat, it blows out all the wrinkles.
It makes you look so much younger.
It's amazing. God's little Botox. So that's my beauty secret. I just want to tell you, when you put that picture of me from 20 years ago, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Where did you find that? What archaeological dig?
I found it in an article in a magazine, I believe. It's beautiful.
Yeah. LA girl. Thank you. 20 years ago. Anyway.
Greg Wordless says, my wife was reading a book that said to embrace her failures. So she stood up and gave me a hug. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's a cute old joke. I
like that joke, Greg.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah, it's a good one. Howard Rowan says, I love all Kamalas. All of them, however they pronounce it. Kamala says she's going to stop washing her face immediately. That's the thing is, in Hollywood, you kind of take all your advice from your friends. And whether it be true or false, it's the best way to know what to do next. So Tell me, what was it like when you first got to Hollywood? You came from Cleveland?
Cleveland.
I want to hear some stories about the early Hollywood time when you were here, like in the, what is it, 80s?
I got here in 79. I know, I'm really dating myself. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm 85 years old. Anyway, so I got here, oh boy, too many adventures to mention. But one of my first jobs was working at Frederick's of Hollywood. If anyone's old enough to remember that.
Frederick's of Hollywood.
Famous Ron, panty place. And I studied cleavage engineering to attract the boys. I constantly was shoplifting all of the bras, and I would barely make any money, so sometimes I'd have to eat edible undies for lunch.
Of course, got to get your nutrition.
They were made out of gelatin, and licorice. So I take a little peanut butter.
You really would eat these? You really?
Delicious.
I thought you were kidding.
Oh my God, the red ones and the black ones are the best because they had it. You know, it was anyway. No, I didn't eat them.
I love it. I love it.
I was
totally buying it. I am gullible as hell. Ginny says,
"We love you, Joel."
That's right. Jane wore corsets in public way before Madonna. Do you think you started that craze?
I did because the only clothes I had were these horror clothes from Frederick's. I had to wear.
Wow.
That's true. I would go to job interviews with like 6 inches of cleavage. I mean, I didn't have any other clothes. But that's how I met one of my kitsch and tell. Mm-hmm. I was working at Frederick's and all these women came in and said, "We're going to wrestle Andy Kaufman tonight." I don't know if you know this story. I didn't tell you, Joel.
No, tell me.
Comedy. You're a comedian.
Yes, I want to hear this.
So I'm like, really? And they go, yeah, the prize is like $500 if you beat him. I'm like, really? So I put on an outfit and went down to the Comedy Store. And sure enough, I wrestled him.
You did?
And then I went home with him, which was, my life almost ended when I went up Laurel Canyon when he was driving.
Oh, he's a bad driver?
My young life flashed before. He was insane. And then when we got to the house, he made me wait and he crawled around. I swear this is in the book, but I'm not going to tell you everything about it.
Okay.
He crawled around because he was so paranoid. He had like 5 locks and you had early cameras. He crawled around and make sure no one was there. And then he let me in. It was like,
wow.
He was so crazy. I think he was the first person I ever met with Asperger.
Really?
I really knew there was something brilliant and removed. And anyway, a few years later, I saw him with his girl, Carol Kane. But anyway, that's just one of the little stories of.
Did you win?
No.
You did not. He was a pretty good wrestler?
He cheated.
Oh, he cheated.
He cheated. But there's a really crazy story that goes with that. But you'll have to read the book.
We got to read the book. Save that for the book. The thing I wondered, though, about it is I remember hearing that he was wrestling people. I thought he was wrestling like in a wrestling ring or something like this, but he was actually wrestling people at the Comedy Store?
On stage at the Comedy Store. It was like I think it was once a month on Monday nights or something, yeah.
My God, that book is going to be really good.
Yeah, that's the night I got to hang out with Robin Williams, who's such a sweetheart, such a great guy. He had terrible BO, but he was an angel.
We're getting the scoop. Rosemary Taylor says, "Hey, girl, watching from Atlanta. You're so authentic."
Boy, that's what the young people say. Thank you, Rosemary. They say to me when they see my show, "You're so real."
You are so real. Why I wonder, like, is everybody fake now, or
No, I think it's because I sing about being old.
I love that.
Old and desperate and crazy, and I do sing about stuff, forgetting, admitting all my regrets, and
Yeah, I love that song about your regrets.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
If I was really good, I could pull up like something from that. But I do have some interesting. Well, here's one from I Can't Remember.
They did some cruel research on furry little rats. They kept them up for 14 days. They got those fatal stats. How they kept them up each night, I wondered about that. Maybe they were being chased by some laboratory cats. Death by insomnia, they're better off without you. Death by insomnia, rigor mortis on
ya. That was the wrong song, but it was good. That was Death by Insomnia.
That was hilarious.
I love Death by Insomnia.
So funny. I love you mixing it up.
I mixed it up.
You know how I wrote that song because it was actually a headline in the New York Times.
Oh.
It said death by insomnia. I'm a horrible insomniac. Death by insomnia, and it was about these rats being up for 2 weeks straight, and they finally died. So that's how I came up with that.
Oh my God,
Thank you, New York Times. You wacky,
yeah,
wacky
it's a good
paper,
place to get ideas. When you came out to Hollywood, did you have aspirations of being like a movie star or like a comedian?
Oh God,
or what?
no. Though my breasts were featured in a lot of movies and videos, I was a journalist. I came out. I worked at the Plain Dealer in Cleveland.
Oh my God, my mom worked there.
Get out.
Serious?
Joel,
she totally
what's
worked
her
there.
name? What's
her name? Is Jane Marshall. But she was before you. It's my mom. She was like before you.
I was the copy boy, and I did the weather column. I got to,
really?
The National Weather Service would send us what the weather in Cleveland, and once in a while I was so lucky I got to write the headline: May rain, cool and foggy, snow. I mean, that was my job. And then wait, I got to tell you the funniest thing. When I worked there in the late 70s, there was no such thing as sexual, the Me Too or whatever, all of this, right? They called me because of my legendary large breasts.
Yeah.
They called, not Jane Cantillon, they called me Jane Cantillopes.
Cantillopes, oh yeah.
So when, Joel, it was crazy, when they would say copy, you run and get the copy and you send it to the the editors. They say cantaloupes, and I just accepted it.
Cantaloupe.
I was just, okay. Big city paper, Ohio's largest paper, Cleveland Plain Dealer. They called me cantaloupes.
They really did.
Those
were some different times.
Those were some different times. Yeah. Anyway, so
Cleveland's changed a lot. Apparently,
it's fabulous. I love it.
Did you go back there?
I'm going to move there. I'm going to move there. Mistake on the Lake. It'll be my death tour.
Robert Schiffel says, hello, Joel. Scheifel. Hello, Joel and Jane from Connecticut. This is great. We got people from all over.
Yeah, we worked together at ET, and he was always in love with hard copy. He was jealous that I worked at hard copy because we had a prison phone on the news desk, and once in a while Charlie Manson would call. And it would be like,
is that real? Am I being gullible, or is that a real thing?
No,
Charlie Manson would call you?
I swear.
Did you talk to him?
I never talked to him. No. No, it was on the prison. It was a prison phone. It would be, Doug Bruckner tonight on Hard Copy.
Hard Copy.
Bruckner inside. And Charlie Manson, there's an prison interview, where he's condemning Hard Copy because he didn't like the way that we handled his story. I mean, it's true. Joel, I'll send you the clip if you don't believe me.
All right. You have to send it to me. Okay, Cynozoic says, is Jane performing at Library Girl November 10th?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I'm the Ruskin Theater in Santa Monica. I'm doing just a 7-minute reading of it's. The theme is I had too much to think. That song, that famous song. But yeah, and I'm also playing the Dresden in December. Exact date TBA, but the owner just said, I'm getting you a date for December. Dickless Jane and the New Confusions.
And the New Confusions, I like that.
Yeah. I wanted to be Dickless Jane and the Brain Fogs, but that Brain Fog had already been taken. But cheers to my late husband, Richard Ross. He was such a good guy.
Let's give him some round of applause.
Aww. Dickie Boo Boo, where art thou?
Yeah, I remember Camel and I going over to your house for a party one time, and it was just so much fun, and people were just so wonderful. Did you have like a lot of people around a lot? Did you have, when you two were together, was it something that you did, like community building?
I still do it.
Yeah.
I still have lots of people around. I have, all the time. Yeah. Hey, I had 8 brothers and sisters. My middle name is Chaos. I come on over, everybody. Come on over.
Ginny Sykes says, Jane, remember hanging out at the Improv? You wanted to get up, and the booker told you were too attractive to do comedy, and every other comedy kept coming up and hitting on you. Tell us about
Yeah,
that. So you were
that
doing
wasn't
comedy
even
at the
booker.
Improv?
You know who that was? Mark Leno, the owner.
Oh.
Mark Leno. Is
Said
he
you were
still
too pretty.
alive? Is he too? He said I was too cute. I'm not that pretty. Without the lipstick, I'm a
No, but
potato.
that's like Lisa Sunstead has the Pretty Funny Women that she started just because of that. Because people said that you're too pretty to do comedy. So it was a different scene back then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was really bad.
Women still get a hard time sometimes.
Yeah, we sure do. We're too powerful and we're too much. You men from the dawn of time have been afraid of us.
That's right. Well, there's some people reconnecting in the chat room. That's cool.
Aw, good.
That's cool. I love that. So did we get to what you were aspiring to do though when you came to Hollywood, like with your cantaloupes?
Yeah, you know what? My reason for coming out here was to get as far away from my family as I could without falling into the ocean. So sorry, family, but that was the plan. Yeah, plain girl's dream, go to Hollywood. My thing was do anything in the entertainment business. That was my thing.
We have a request from the interview jukebox. Jane, can you tell the meth lab in the garage story?
Oh my God.
Is that something you can tell?
Rosemary. Yeah. Well, she worked with me at Hard Copy. She's a very amazing producer.
Yeah.
So I started becoming famous for underground stories because my life in the 80s, before I had my baby girl, Genevieve, just like that's the name of the book is How I Fucked Hollywood, because I slept with a lot of famous men. And then I had my baby girl, and then I was a single mom. I had to make a living. So
yeah.
My first job was in hard copy and television. I'd done print. I worked at Tiger Beat, Rona Barrett's Hollywood, a punk rock magazine. But anyway, I started becoming famous for drug stories, like underground, because I was such a part of the underground. So this is so Breaking Bad. So someone from like Hemet or Riverside called me. This is also in the book, and said, "Look, I want to get out of the business. I got to get out of the business. I want to tell you everything. How we make meth in my garage. How I want to give it all up, but you got to give me a certain amount of money." Checkbook journalism. So I said, okay, it was sweeps. So I ran to my boss and I said, LBB, what about this? This is such a good story. She's like thinking. And then she said, oh, that's so good. No, we can't do it this sweeps.
Yeah.
But hang on to it. Hang on to the contact. So then fast forward to the next sweeps. She comes to me and she goes, Jane girl, Jane woman, call that guy. So I called him up and his young son answered. This is so sad. His young son answered and I said, hey, can I talk to your dad, Ed? He said, oh, my dad died in a fire in the garage.
Oh, no.
I swear. And I'm wondering whether he was he was murdered because he owed money, because he was so desperate to turn the business over to me to explore it on hard copy, or whether it was an accident cooking meth, but it was so horrific. Rosemary, why did you make me tell that story?
That's really horrific. Wow.
Jesus.
Super interesting though.
No, yeah, there were a lot of dark stories.
Do you think, now you had that song about regrets, and there was a question in the chat room about what are your regrets? Do you have regrets about your life and you know, how you've lived it? It's a big question, I know.
Jeez. Wow.
This is lunch therapy. This is the therapy
part.
Portion.
That's way. I don't know if I want that.
No, but I'm just wondering. So you're such an eclectic person. Has that been a benefit to you? Because you have a lot of different things that you can go to, or is it better to allow people to put you in a box?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Boxes are fun, especially when someone interesting comes into the box. But no, sometimes I think if I had just concentrated on one of my, talents or whatever it is.
Talents.
But I think maybe that. Who knows? Who cares?
Who cares?
I'm here.
I think that's a
I'm
good
alive.
answer.
I got a nice house. I got so many great friends.
Yeah.
And I love my new career. Can I tell you about it really quickly?
Yeah, please, of course.
And then I'll give some more dirt.
All right, and then we'll hear some more dirt. We love the dirt.
I need to whiten my teeth. Okay. So I came up with this idea because TV was so toxic. Yeah. I got a touch of cancer from television. It was awful. Yeah, I'm okay.
You're okay,
Everything's fine.
Okay, good.
Boobs, everything's good.
Yeah.
But it was my little tiny cancer has TV production written on it.
Really? It's tough.
I'm okay.
I want to hear more about that, but yeah.
I made up this whole program, and it's taken off. I turn work down at my ancient age. And the reason I wear my hair dark like this is so that I let my elders think I'm their niece and not their sister, not their mother. Seriously. Yeah. But anyway, so Left Brain is memory of music. Everybody who's listening has absorbed a ton of music that emotionally hit them from the minute you heard your mother's heartbeat to rituals and then falling in love or breaking up or all that. We soak up this. We have a lizard brain behind the hippocampus. It takes the music in. Right brain is creating. Okay. Yeah. So when I set it up with watercolors, I mat it. It's all set up, and they get to pick out their images they want to paint. And some of them are such good artists. I'm insanely jealous of them. So anyway, left brain music, right brain painting. So let's start, everyone. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies. So they're singing and painting. The neurotransmitters are lighting up because you're doing the two things at once. Yeah. And it's really, try it at home. It's amazing.
I'm going to try that.
Try it. It's
so you're saying music is left-brained?
Left brain memory. It's a memory.
Because it's a memory.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And I'll meet people. I'll work with people, and their families are blown away. See, I'm like a human jukebox. I know, so that's what I do. And they won't even be able to speak anymore, but they can sing every lyric to Somewhere Over the Rainbow or Stormy Weather, whatever their music is. Eventually you'll be doing Nirvana in the nursing home.
Yeah.
Jackson Brown. Who knows? You'll be doing something that you remember. But a lot of them can't speak, but every single word. It's the lizard brain. It's an ancient.
Well, and we tend to.
Oliver
that
Sacks,
tends to music is the thing that we memorize as a people. That's probably the main 99% of it.
No, but it's much deeper than that because they don't recognize their family. They don't.
Yeah.
It's so. I don't think they've done enough research on the power of music. Really, I really don't. But it'll happen.
Phenomena. Do you think you'll write a book about that?
It's in my book.
Oh, it is in your book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Howard Ronan says, more dirt, name names. This is where Joel the interrogator Marshall kicks in. I don't interrogate people.
Okay, you can interrogate me. What do you want to know?
I want to know about David Lee Roth. What's that guy like? And
David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
That's how did you know I knew him? I didn't even mention him.
Just pulled it out of the ether. I figure you were on Sunset in the 80s. These are the people around.
He was so cheesy. He was a silent partner in a club that I used to go to called the 00, which is mentioned in my song.
In one of the songs,
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
It's in my Can't Remember.
I got to find the Can't Remember.
They were always in the back room, in the VIP room, snorting coke. Uh-huh. And anyway, this is a boring story. I made out with him, and then he wanted to take me to some place to make me dress up like one of his video chicks, and I'm like, I'll see you later. We made out in this limo in front of my house. I lived in the ghetto where there were so many coke dealers in my neighborhood. When I first moved there, I thought it was everybody was so friendly. They were always whistling. Then I found out they were all coke dealers on the street.
Oh, they were whistling like, come over here.
They were whistle, yeah. And I guess apparently that's a big popular thing in prison. There's a certain whistle.
Yeah.
But he really got scared when he pulled up to my place in his limo, trying to talk me into going to, not Playmates, it was a 24-hour place in WeHo.
Mm-hmm.
And then all these guys were surrounding the car. And I felt like saying, no, don't worry. He's got his own Coke. But anyway, that's a boring one. That's a boring story. I don't even think that's in my book.
Jenny Sykes says Bruce Willis.
Hot lover. I met him at the Improv.
Really?
Well, no, I went home with him at the Improv. I met him he did this rockumentary called Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
No.
It was awful. I played his secretary. It was a recre. I was at Capitol Records. We shot at Capitol Records. It was so exciting. I looked like a Goomba, bigger than this, a big hairdo. I looked very Italian. And I was shocked at how tall and attractive he was, because I never watched TV, or in the 80s, I was having too much fun. I never watched TV. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
But then I thought he was really attractive. And a friend of mine said, oh, yeah, he goes to the Improv every Tuesday night. So
he did. Yeah, he did back then. Huh? I heard that.
He
as well.
was such a hot lover, but oh boy, he was kind of crazy. And then when he started losing his hair, he started becoming a Republican.
That'll do that to you. Hey, I found
way before to me, and I wrote a song about him. It was my first song I wrote called "I'm Not Famous Enough to Be With You, But You Were So Hot, No Wonder I'm Blue." It's a really funny song. It totally describes the whole affair. It's a really good song.
I wonder what I wondered who that was about, but now we know. Now we know. I found the song about remembering. Now I don't know the name of the song.
Remember?
I can't remember. I found it.
You couldn't remember?
I couldn't remember. I can't remember. Here we go. I'm going to put this in here.
I love your videos.
Oh, thank you. So check this out. I can't remember. I'm going to move us down. Maybe we'll get some lyrics on the screen. AI is like making lyrics these days, or like transcribing.
They screwed up the last ones.
They did. They totally screwed them up. It's kind of fun to see what they're thinking.
Do I know you?
Uh-oh, I'll move this too.
Have we met before? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I love that.
Did I meet you at an art opening in Chinatown? I think it was September.
I can't remember.
Did we work at a newspaper together? I can't remember. Did we have sex together? I can't remember. Do you remember? 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 It's the should. I can't forget. Should have done this?
Should have done this. Oh, here's the regrets.
That I can't forget. Oh no, that I can't forget. All of my regrets.
Oh, look at the scary trees.
You look familiar. Do I look familiar? I can't remember. Did I meet you on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, After Hours Club, or
Maybe it was the 00.
0 0. There it is.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Were you my pot dealer? I can't remember. Did we have sex together? I can't remember. Do you remember? I can't remember. Do you remember? I can't remember. Do you remember? Do you remember? I can't remember. Do you remember? It's the should. I can't forget. Should have done this. Should have done that. That I can't forget. All of my regret. Oh no, all of my regret. Oh no, that I can't forget. Why did I walk into this room?
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that was great. You don't see that on Colbert. You don't see him play a whole song and dance.
That.
Of course, my pleasure. I'm glad that Boney could call it up. He was working hard trying to get the song.
I love the little images you throw in, those lonely bedrooms.
That's right. We go all the way here. We go all the way. Somebody said Tony Curtis.
Oh, yeah.
We want to hear
One of
about
my
Tony
favorites.
Curtis.
Can I tell a little story? Do we have time?
Yes, we have just a
so
little
I
bit
used
of time.
to do I used to do singing telegrams. I did a zillion jobs, and I come dressed as a nun. I'm Catholic damaged, 12 years of Catholic school. And so I'd come dressed as a nun, and then I'd rip everything off, and I'd be wearing a dominatrix outfit with a whip.
Really?
And, yeah. Actually, one time I did it at this place that Maureen Reagan was there, and the Secret Service had to check my ammo belt. I had like a Patty Hearst ammo belt.
Oh, wow.
They had to check my ammo, but that's a whole other story. So Tony, his assistant was a friend of mine, and he, for his birthday, said, "I want you to do your singing telegram." So, but I had slept at that house. His mansion in Bel Air, when Tony was out of town before, and oddly, and people would drive by those Stars Home, the buses, the tour buses like TMZ today.
Yeah.
And they'd scream, "Tony, Tony." And I'm sleeping in the guest room, and I dream about Cary Grant, which was so weird. Why do I dream about Cary Grant? Okay, so fast forward to doing the singing telegram with Tony.
Yeah.
So I do it, and he's like, "Whoa," because he loved large-breasted women. So
Who doesn't?
He grabs me by the hand.
Yes.
And I'm going up the spiral staircase of his mansion. I'm thinking, "Oh, diamond, rubies, what he said, I have something for you. What is he going to give me? Oh my God, a solid gold cross." We get to the top. We go in this massive bathroom, and it looks like a science lab. He's got all these gizmos, and all of a sudden, he hands me a freebase pipe.
Oh!
I'm like, "Yeah, it's a rock, all right. It's called crack. It's a rock, man." So I start freebasing with him.
Oh, no.
Hey, why not? So, but we became great friends. So back to so why did I dream about Cary Grant? He had a little, like a memorial for him. He let me try on the outfit from Some Like It Hot. With the glasses.
Really? In the dream?
See, if I have to, when I vet my book, I have Bruce Willis calling me on the phone. I've saved all these messages. But when Tony called me, it was like this: "Hello, Jane. It's Tony. Please give me a call." It was Cary Grant.
Oh my God.
Totally. And he was obsessed. TCM in the last year did a thing about Tony and his love of Cary Grant. He was mad for him.
Mm.
Anyway, we had a fling. He was a very generous lover, and he was also very generous with the coke. And some sad stuff happened after that for him.
Yeah,
he was such a great artist. I have a big drawing he did, and his calling card I have. He was a really wonderful artist, but luckily he got sober and he could live the rest of his life with this very buxom woman in Vegas.
Yeah, I remember that. He was in Vegas.
One more time.
Yeah. He
married one more time, but that's in the book, what happened. Some sad stuff for him, really sad stuff, but I was witness to a lot of it. So,
sometimes,
but I loved him. He was so fun.
Sometimes these big movie stars at the end of their lives, they really kind of break down. I think of Dean Martin and how he was like hanging out at the Hamburger Hamlet and apparently in the bar a lot in the later part of his life. And just,
his liver must have been black.
Yeah.
So your liver's your lover until you hate it. And then you're like,
it was hard for him too, because he was kind of known for being a drinker, and that's sort of probably his identity. I don't know how it works, and plus when you kind of fall out of the limelight like that, it must be very difficult.
Did he really fall out?
Enough that he was hanging out at the Hamburger Hamlet, like in the bar. It used to be he and Jerry Lewis couldn't even, open their window from their apartment without people just going crazy. They were like the Beatles at some point.
Yeah, true.
I think that you do, have to come down from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Find the reality of it. Anyway, this has been incredible having you on. We're at the dance break now. I've got a special dance break from your past.
Uh-oh.
From the deepest, darkest parts of your past. No, it's the one that you said Ginny liked.
Ginny loves this.
Oh, wait. Robert says, did your editor at the Tiger Beat marry the Night Stalker?
Yes. Ginny has talked about this on your show.
Yes, she has. You're right.
Doreen
married the Night Stalker.
And then I did a story on her for hard copy, and she wrote me back. She gave me. We used pictures from George Rodriguez. She wrote me back after the story aired, and she said, "You butchered Richard. How dare you? You were so cruel. You slaughtered his name." And so she used all these violent words. She did not like the story at all. I don't know how you make a sweet, loving, fluffy story about Richard Ramirez. She was nuts.
Although, have you seen the Menendez story?
No.
Oh, you got to check it out. That's how you do that. I don't know. It's pretty incredible. They might end up being released as a result of it.
I know. Ginny Sykes must be kind of hot.
Ginny was obsessed with them.
She was obsessed.
She has that way of latching on.
You love
things,
her taste. Really I love her taste.
Oh, me too.
And a shout out to my band, Paul Kleinman, Mark Fletcher, Irv Ziskind, Michael Peffer, and D.T. Allen, and Spencer Thornton. All of you, I love you. We'll be playing soon, so.
Can you tell us?
Instagram.
Is that where people should go?
What?
That's where people should go to find
my Instagram.
Information.
Yeah,
okay.
My name, Instagram or Facebook, either one. But.
Okay. So
You're gonna play my video.
I am gonna play your video, but I'm gonna put that in the show notes. Also, links to your Instagram and all that, so that people can follow what you're doing. And thanks so much for being on the show. This has just been an absolute pleasure. We're going to end with the dance break. Beautiful song, original song from, when was this, 80s maybe? 80s?
This was 80. My daughter, her soul was flying around, and this is when she decided to join me.
Oh, yeah?
And, this is it. I'm sure of it. She saw this and said, I got to be
this lady. All right, let's do it.
If a girl's called a bimbo, why is a guy named Bumbo? Bimbo, Bumbo. His Bumbo, Dimbo, Dumbo. He don't read, he don't write, nobody.
Where'd you get all these guys?
Macho, mucho, macho.
These friends of yours?
Limbo, but like singing mambo, jumbo.
Where's the real me, the nun?
You're the nun.
Bumbo, he loved the samba. My band is playing the bumbo samba, the bumbo samba.
I'm gonna try and dance like you.
He says he's an actor, though he waits on tables with combo, combo, combo. Then he looks in the mirror and he sees, oh, nothing but perfecto. Ooh, perfecto. And if he's not a gigolo, you see him with another bimbo or a bambo. 'Cause if the girls call a bimbo, what is a gap but a bambo? Bimbo, bambo. He was a bambo. He loved the samba. My band is playing the bumbo samba, the bumbo samba.
The apartment that scared.
He was a bumbo. He loved the samba. My band is playing the bumbo samba. He was a bumbo. His heroes Rambo. His ego's grando. He loves to jumbo. He was a bumbo. He was a bumbo. He was a bumbo. He loved the samba. My band is playing the bumbo samba. He was a bumbo.
All right, everybody. See y'all next week. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you on Tuesday. That was the Bumbo Samba.